What is going on, investors? Hopefully you guys are doing well out there. I wanted to come to you today a little bit different style, a little bit different video than you're probably used to here on the channel. I did want to talk about the FTX situation as it kind of has bled into kind of financial YouTube, and I guess you can say we're all a part of that here on this channel. And so we'll talk briefly about the FTX situation, my thoughts on it. We'll talk about like paid sponsorship and getting paid to post specific things here on the channel, and then we'll also talk about the channels that have caught a lot of criticism over this last week as they were promoting FTX. They've also promoted what I would believe maybe a lot of other questionable products and other services out there that would be kind of the Meet Kevins, the financial education Jeremys, and the Grand Stefans of the world. So we'll talk about that as well. I want to start with the FTX situation. I think I can confidently say here on the channel, this is the first time we've even mentioned FTX, but I do want to point out this is a company that had a rather pristine reputation in the industry. They had sponsorships at arenas. They had sponsorship with Steph Curry and Tom Brady. They did a lot of marketing. Now, if you dug deep, you probably absolutely could have found some warning signs there of what has kind of transpired over this last week. But it was a relatively well-respected business inside the crypto universe and even the financial universe. But what I can't help but think of is all the people out there that took the advice to maybe sign up for that site or just took the marketing and signed up for that site. I see all the bankruptcies and all this money and this wealth that is lost. And I can't help but think about all the people out there that have really lost their wealth, lost some money. And for somebody that had a lot of financial difficulties, myself, I've been broke before. I've been on my last dollar. I've struggled paying rent. I've done bad businesses and lost money before. Look, you can feel sorry for yourself for a week. You can maybe feel sorry for yourself for a month. I've certainly probably done that. But the advice that always got me to come back is, look, nobody's going to feel sorry for myself. And the best course of action is to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back to the things that got you that money, got you that success, and got you into the position where you could invest in crypto or invest in stocks and do other investments. Dust yourself off, get your skills back to work, and start making money again. And I just feel for anybody, though, that was wrapped up into this situation because no fault of your own, you have lost some of your money, and I feel bad about that. Now, that kind of brings us to here, the investor channel. Since financial YouTubers are taking a lot of criticism, and I think well-deserved over this past week, I can look in this camera and confidently tell you, I have never taken a paid sponsorship at this channel. I've never posted something to a video because I was paid to do that. Now, occasionally I've sprinkled maybe some affiliate links down in the description. I haven't done that more recently, but I don't think at this point there's a whole lot controversial maybe about of an affiliate link that people click on. But I am constantly contacted, though. So I have not done any paid sponsorship here on YouTube. I have not done a paid post or done an advertising in the middle of a video, but it's not by the lack of trying of other advertisers. I am constantly contacted through email and through DMs on Instagram about trying to pump a certain service. Oftentimes it's related to cryptocurrency, the BlockFis, the FTXs, and many others that we've never even heard of have contacted me and asked me to do some kind of promotion here on the channel. And the reason why I have never taken a sponsorship, and that's not to say that I won't, but the mission of the investor channel, and it's here on the channel, and I probably don't do a good enough job maybe projecting this, is the mission of the investor channel is to make you the best investor in the world. And that is why every video that you see, or most of the videos that you see here on the investor channel, 3 or 4 minutes into it, we're bringing up cash flows. We're looking at the balance sheet. We're looking at the P&L. We're looking at forward revenue estimates. We're relating that to the valuation. We're looking at the technical chart because this is what the best investors in the world, when you sit down at dinner with a millionaire, a billionaire occasionally, that I've had the privilege of doing it, we're talking about P&L. We're talking about the macro environment. We're talking about these broad things, but also as it relates to the company's financials, their ability to generate revenue and their ability to generate profits. Now, is that going to get me the largest audience here on YouTube? Is that going to get me all the sponsorships? Is that going to line my pockets full of money? Absolutely not. I think you can look at the people that view my videos, and they're far less than some of these other channels that we'll talk about. But that is because the mission of this channel is to make you watching this right now the best investor in the world. And the mission of this channel will always do that. So if a sponsor can come along and maybe contribute to that, I'm certainly open to hearing that. What I'm probably going to partner with at some point into the future is maybe a parallel industry. Maybe they make some cool product, or they make something fun that they understand that the audience that views this video probably is rather successful, has some extra money, and maybe wants a fun product or something on the side. It's probably not going to relate to the financial industry unless a JP Morgan or a Charles Schwab or one of these gigantic financial institutions decides to partner with me. So shout out to Charles Schwab. If you want to give me a call, we'll gladly have you on the show. So the goal of the investor channel is to strictly make you the best investor in the world. And when I watch some of these other financial YouTubers out there, the goal of those channels is to get as many views as possible, is to get as much ad revenue as possible, to get sponsor deals as possible, and simply line the pockets of whoever's creating that content. And by all means, they've been wildly successful at that. They have more money than me, they have more subscribers than me, and they have more viewers than me. But it also puts them in the precarious situation that they found themselves this week as it pertains to the FTX situation. Now, I could certainly have videos where I go incredibly hard on Financial Jeremy's picks when it comes to stock picking, which I think he doesn't do a very good job at. We certainly could look at Grand Stefan, how he really just covers kind of the surface level. His videos are very entertaining and might spur some thought and maybe spur some motivation inside of you to go out and maybe do some more investing or be more responsible with your money. When you look at a Meet Kevin, certainly reminds me of kind of a used car salesman, or I think he has a background in real estate, certainly reminds me of somebody that's more of a salesperson trying to get you to buy something, get you to do something that benefits him. But there's some other channels here on YouTube that I will point out to you that I think do it a far more entertaining and funny way. There's Echoes from Above. I'll put links to these down in the description below. And there's also Strong Man Finance, who is often shirtless while he's recording his videos, which I find particularly entertaining. I'll have links to theirs descriptions down below. If you want to see people taking shots at these larger financial YouTubers, well, they're certainly out there and it's certainly entertaining. But I hope what this FTX situation is kind of brought about is people that are viewing this type of content maybe look at it in a more critical lens and maybe start to ask themselves the question, is this content really helping you become a better investor? Is this content really going to help you become more financially independent or more financially successful in the long run? Like I said, there are many YouTubers out there with much more subscribers, much more views, and people viewing their videos than I do, and they do a much better job at creating very entertaining videos than I do. But I just want you guys to know that the goal of this channel is to not necessarily entertain you. The goal of this channel is certainly not to line the pockets of my pants and my shirt with money, because I certainly kind of taken sponsorships over the years that could have done that. The goal of the investor channel is always going to make you the best investor. And that is why a lot of the topics and a lot of the subjects that we'll talk about here on the channel will focus on things like the financials, like the fundamentals, like the forward revenue estimates, like the technical chart patterns, because if you sit down with a great investor or investor that is getting paid to strictly invest, those are the things they constantly talk about. And if you surround yourself as an investor around people and other investors that care about those things, that is what's going to make you a great investor. Surrounding yourselves with a bunch of salesmen that want to sell you a product because it helps them is likely going to make you broker, as we've seen this week as it pertains to FTX. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend out there. We'll join you again this week as we have a lot of earnings videos, and I'll certainly be here to cover them for you. Have a great rest of your day, and good luck with your investments.